With his life in Bloodhaven constantly under threat of danger, Dick Grayson will need to get by with a little help from his friend Wally West. What'll happen next? Well, let's hop into the pages of Nightwing issue number 90 and find out what happens together next, shall we? So then, as we join the book, Blockbuster is holding court with the most powerful and corrupt individuals throughout Bloodhaven. So far, all attempts at killing the newly wealthy Dick Grayson and bringing to a halt his brand new urban renewal effort have all been massive failures. To rectify this problem, Blockbuster has spared no expense in hiring the greatest international killer the world has ever known, someone who goes only by the mysterious handle of the Funeral Agent. Well, in English it's the Funeral Agent. It's much more lyrical and fancy in Spanish, don't you know? Now, unlike all the other hired guns that Blockbuster has sent after Nightwing, the Funeral Agent is different. They don't care about causing as much collateral damage as humanly possible. Luckily, as we know from reading the book, Dick has one important friend inside Blockbuster's own cabal, his secret half-sister Melinda Zuko, who tips him off that not only is Nightwing a target, but his entire building is going to get blown up. This means Dick not only has to get himself out of harm's way, but he has to rescue all the other innocent people who called his building home before it gets blown up by a frickin' military-class drone dropping missiles. Most of the residents are easy to clear out by Dick claiming that there's a fire on the top floor. Unfortunately, there's an old guy who sleeps without his hearing aids, which means Nightwing needs to suit up and rescue him. Naturally, the old guy is incredibly confused and thinks Nightwing broke into his place just to steal his hearing aid. Personally, I'm surprised that this old dude is in such good shape. Now, the news of the attack on Dick Grayson's building ends up becoming quite a hot news item, so much to the point that Wally West the Flash and his wife Linda read about it back home. Fearing the absolute worst, Dick's best friend and former Titans teammate Wally rushes all the way to Bloodhaven to dig through the rubble, thinking that Nightwing got crushed. Luckily, Dick is a-okay, but he actually finds himself at a little bit of a crossroads right now. Once again, innocent people's lives have been disrupted because Blockbuster and his ilk have wanted him dead. Now, Dick could very well drop his costume and rejoin the rest of the building's residents like nothing happened, but Wally has a better idea, and that is use this opportunity to make Blockbuster and all the other bad guys think he's dead. At first, Dick thinks maybe he'll go and lay low in Gotham for a little bit, but Wally won't hear about it, using his super speed to bring him back to his city and his own personal home. Wally says that he knows his friend has been going through a lot recently trying to change the corrupt nature of his city, and it's probably been way too long since he's been able to sleep without having at least one eye open, and that once he's fully rested and recovered, they can take the fight to Blockbuster and the Funeral Agent together. Here's the thing though, our heroes may actually be working against the clock without knowing it. You see, all the people who had their homes destroyed in the explosion get put up in hotels by Blockbuster. The corrupt police chief talks to one of Dick's neighbors and slowly begins to realize that Grayson knew about the bombing before anyone else did, and the only way he possibly could have known that is if someone within Blockbuster's own inner circle tipped Dick off. And now I just have to have a little chuckle to myself as I look at my script and realize I wrote the words Dick tip. The next morning, Dick wakes up to find Linda and the kids waiting for him. They're just genuinely happy to have a guest, don't you know, and have even made him some cereal. Wally has gone out of his way to make a whole string theory board, including Blockbuster and all the other people who want Dick dead currently. Wally also gets brought up to speed too on the whole secret Zuko sister thing, which, you know, at this point you think nothing would surprise people in the superhero community, but secret siblings are still surprising. The two boys don't make it far with their plans to take down Blockbuster when Oracle ends up ringing them up. Apparently, the attack on Dick's life at the apartment complex was just the beginning of a much bigger plan by the Funeral Agent. Barbara Gordon gets kidnapped in broad daylight by a couple of thugs, and while she very easily could escape on her own, doing so could betray her identity as Batgirl and Dick's identity as Nightwing. In two excellent back-to-back jokes, the thugs keep referring to Barbara as Dick's girlfriend, but she keeps saying, well, you know, I wouldn't really put a label on what we're doing right now. We're just kind of having fun, you know? Also, the kidnapper's vehicle of choice just so happens to be a refrigerator van. Get it? Fridging. They're trying to fridge Barbara Gordon, but she won't let it happen. Dick and Wally figure this is an excellent lead, and if they follow the van, maybe they can find out where the Funeral Agent is holed up. Here's the thing though, the agent seems to not be working alone. Apparently they're one of those super assassins that loves outsourcing to other super assassins, as the kidnappers are actually working for KG Beast. Yes, that KG Beast, the very same KG Beast police that shot Dick Grayson in the head a couple years back and made him think he was Rick for a little bit. Needless to say, all the Titans have wanted to get their hands on this dude since then. And as the comic comes to a close, it looks like Nightwing and the Flash are going to get a chance to settle some very old scores. And so that was Nightwing issue number 90, everybody, and once again, Tom Taylor does an excellent job delivering one of the very best feel-good comics on the shelf at the moment. You got action, you got comedy, you got romance and intrigue. Basically everything that makes good drama is on display here in this book. Wrap it up in some lovely Gerardo Borges artwork and slap on a nice Bruno Redondo cover and you got yourself a recipe for a really fun comic, don't ya? Credit too's gotta be given to Tom Taylor for really making this Nightwing book feel like such a huge part of the DC universe, with Dick routinely crossing over with the Titans, with John Kent Superman, and now Wally yet again, as well as fighting villains who aren't routinely considered to be Nightwing villains. It's just a really good mix of everything, which is why I give it a much-deserved 8.5 out of 10. Hey there everyone, it's your old pal Cape Jewel, and if you're seeing me right now, that means you watched to the end of the video, which I am very appreciative of. It really helps drive engagement and retention and all that other good YouTube stuff. So does liking and commenting. Wink wink. If you like my content too, you should check out my Patreon page. We just redid all the tiers, so there's a ton of great rewards. You can become a patron for as little as $1 a month, and well, it would just really help me out. It's never expected, but always appreciated. So until next time, everyone, I've been Cape Joel, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.